was talking to a guy here. I like to ask people questions when I drive around. That's how I know so much about every place. Even if I don't live there, I know a lot about the places I go to because I ask questions. I'm a people person. I've learned to talk to people in my life because forget about the stupid internet. Local people know what's going on in the local area. Like the people here in this trailer park here, living here full time. You know, fixed old trailers. These people could tell you more about the area in 10 minutes than you'd ever find out on the internet. Walk up and ask some old guy living there, smoking a cigarette, hanging off his lips, say, hey, can I buy you lunch? And when I ask you questions for 30 minutes, I'm thinking about moving here, I'll pay you 20 bucks. For 20 bucks, the guy will say, yeah, sure, I'll answer your questions for 20 bucks. Especially if they're on Social Security. So I was asking a guy at a local store, I said, I don't want to know how much you make, but I'm just curious how much they're paying at a job like yours around here. He kind of looked down and said, not much. I said, well, is it more than 20 or less than $20 an hour? He said, oh, it's not even $20 an hour in Lincoln City. I said, well, I know like the Fred Meyer Union, after you got the 10,000 hours, which takes about 5 years, they pay about $20 an hour for, you know, cashiers. He said, no, not up here. He said he knew a girl who was a caregiver for 8 years. She started $13 an hour. In 8 years, now she only makes $17 an hour. I said, oh, that's not very much for a hard job like that. He said, no, it's not very good. He said, and the rent up here is ridiculous. So I'm saying you can find out a lot of things about an area if you just politely ask some questions, not personal questions. Hey, they must have known I was coming because they left this spot open for me. Looking Glass Inn, that's a hotel over there. I'm sure it's not $100 a night, no. It's probably over $200 a night. I would sleep in my car. I would not pay $200 a night to lay down for 8 hours, no. No freaking way, not in my lifetime. I'm a cheapskate. I mean, I know there's hotels on the Oregon coast that are like $250 a night, $300 a night. $300 is a whole month's worth of fun to this sidewinder. They still give away those glass balls. They still hide them every week, they say. Look, it's 1894. You know, my grandmother, I'm 63, but my grandmother was born in the 1890s. Yeah, you got to check in here to see. If there's any balls, sometimes they'll just put them like right in the obvious place and nobody ever looks. Let's go down here. I like to look for potential walking sticks. I love these wild beach flowers down here. I call them wild roses, but Yeah, you find kind of like a potential walking stick. See, everybody goes down there. They're all down there crabbing, not with pots, but they crab with the along the little bay there, the fishing pole that you can throw out with a little square pot on it and catch 1 or 2 crab at a time. It's a good idea. Bring a piece of cardboard and just sit on it. I'll go through this driftwood here for a while. I love driftwood. If I was homeless, this is what I would do. I would constantly work on driftwood and sell the pieces. I mean, someone would easily buy them from you right off the street. I'd have a wagon to pull them around behind me around town while I'm working on them. I'd be known as the driftwood guy. Now, there is a guy down by Florence. He carves by hand mushrooms out of driftwood. Little tiny mushrooms. Well, they're about 10 to 12 inches high. And he'll sit on the corner. He doesn't ask for money. He sits on the corner and he's got a chisel set and everything, and he'll sit there. It takes him like an entire day to make one. And he's about 60 years old. And he sells them for like $30 each. If you went to an art center, they'd sell them for $90. But he sells them right on the corner for $30. And he sells about 1 or 2 a day. And then he'll disappear for a while. Go out and get some more wood. Come back with like 4 or 5 of these. Just sets them beside him. Everybody knows that they're for sale. For $30, he won't take less than 30 bucks. And they're just beautiful. And everyone's different. And I think he's on disability, so he really, really enjoys working with his hands. And here, people, you know, who live in an apartment or a house, you have every advantage in the world, and you won't start a small business. I come from the generation where all the guys, the millionaires, they all wrote books, and they all had one thing that they agreed upon. You should never watch TV at night. You should spend your time starting a small business. Even if it's like this mushroom guy. And they say that, you know, you can make an extra, well, a few $1,000s a year. And that will make all the difference in your retirement when you're 60 years old. Then you take that money and invest it 100%. And don't touch it. That's how you get ahead of everybody else, actually. That was funny. That guy walked by.
I said, I got the stop sign, and let him go by. And he started rapping, going, stop, collaborate, and listen. For those of you who are my age, look at the size of this log. Wow, this thing is really cool. I think it was from Ice, Vanilla Ice. Ice, ice, baby. Stop, collaborate, and listen. Look at the size of that log. You could literally build one cabin, like one 8x10 cabin out of this one log. Probably a 10x12 actually. I haven't found any glass balls, but I don't really care. I'm here for the adventure. If I wanted another glass ball, I own several. If I wanted another one, I would just go down the street and buy one. Sometimes I'll send my daughter-in-law another glass ball. And boy, does she get happy about that. That makes her real excited. And I'm sure my son just rolls his eyes. That's why I sent it to her, not him. In case they're listening. Now look at these wildflowers here. Growing out of this dead thing. That's what Jesus says. You only need faith as small as a mustard seed, and he will tenfold it like you see here. At a minimum. He will tenfold it. Look at, I don't know who. There had to be several people. Look at the size of those logs they put up there. Let's go this way. I'm going to walk down this beach a little ways. Stop, collaborate, and listen. I like the line, I've got the power, by the group Snap. I've got the power. And the guy in there says, I'm the lyrical Jesse James. I mean, you got to think differently than everybody else in this world to come up with that line. I'm the lyrical Jesse James. Like, he's a Jesse James gunslinger, but only for, you know, rapping. That's funny. Now that, I bet you people have put balls in there. Look at the hole in there. That looks like a great place to hide a glass ball to me. Dang it. I want one to be in there. There's a bucket, an empty ice cream bucket. Perfect for kids with sand, you know. I think some homeless person must have started a beach fire down here, because I was just here like last month and none of this was burned. They probably sent the fire department down here to put it out. Most likely. I'm not blaming homeless people. I'm saying they live down here. Look at all those people crabbing down there. This is a great place in the winter. If you go all the way down around the bend, you can find like smaller type agates. Here's a driftwood house someone built. I wouldn't want to sleep in it overnight in case it fell on you while you were sleeping. You might not wake up the next day. See, they still got stuff burning here. It's like the 5th one of these I've seen. Someone came down here and there's someone's shirt. Yeah, see, they live in these things, but If that thing fell on you while you were sleeping, you wouldn't wake up. You'd be a goner. There's someone with a tent down there. Now they will come and tell them to get out of there. Here's an interesting rock. It's like real light sediment. Ugh, in caveman. If I get 2 of these, and I could make my new invention called a wheel. I don't know what it does, but it goes around in circles. Someone's in love with Hazel there. Hey, Zell, unless they're saying, hey, what's up, Zell? Maybe the girl's name is Zell, like Zelda, Princess Warrior. All right, I got a new goal in life. I'm gonna walk from here to that stick sitting up. That's my new goal. I'm gonna start heading back. I'm gonna go down towards the river and see if people are catching anything. Oh my gosh, I see an orca on the beach. They usually don't come this far up on the beach. Oh, that was an optical illusion. Look at these pelicans out here. See them? Big, huge pelicans out front there. Trying to get their lunch. I thought that was buried in the sand. I didn't see the other log. I think I'll make that my the tag on this video. Oh, it's a plastic inflatable orca. I thought it was real. Look at this thing. Look, it's one piece, it's attached. Then it goes straight up. Whoa. That's an interesting log. That would be an interesting piece for like the back of a couch, and then make the rest of the couch go around like that. You got to use your imagination. You have to see the finished product before you start the project. All right, let's go down there. Oh man, I've been walking like 17 miles over this sand. Look at them all. Some of them are actually, oh, they're surf fishing down here. The guys have the waders on and they're fishing in the surf. That guy's fishing, that guy's fishing. Okay, a lot of these guys on the end here fishing. Some of them are crabbing, but some of them are fishing. People are picking up little seashells and rocks. Now, if you're an agate, going for agates like me, if you see a bunch of people, pay them no attention, because 90% of people on the Oregon coast don't know what the valuable rocks even look like.